Ever heard of the Sopwith Camel, the legendary fighter plane from World War I? It was a true icon, a symbol of British air power. But what about the company that produced it? Today let's take a deep dive into the story of the Sopwith Aviation Company, a name that once dominated the skies. Our story begins back in 1912, a time when aviation was still in its infancy. A talented aviator, pilot, and yachtsman named Thomas Sopwith, often called Tommy, decided to start his own aircraft company when he was only 24 years old. He set up shop in a rather unusual place, a disused roller skating rink in Kingston upon Thames, just southwest of London. From these humble beginnings, an aviation giant would emerge. In its early days, Sopwith focused on building various types of aircraft, including seaplanes. Their designs quickly gained a reputation for being robust and well-engineered. They produced planes like the Sopwith Bat-boat, one of the first successful flying boats in the world. But it was the outbreak of World War I in 1914 that would truly define the company's legacy. As the war began, the demand for military aircraft exploded. Sopwith rose to the challenge, designing and producing some of the most effective and famous aircraft of the entire conflict. First came the Sopwith 1.5 Strutter. It was a versatile two-seater used for reconnaissance, bombing, and even as a fighter. It was revolutionary for its time, being one of the first British planes to feature a synchronized machine gun that could fire through the propeller. Next up was the Sopwith Pup. Pilots absolutely loved this plane. It was light, agile, and a dream to fly. Its gentle handling characteristics made it a fantastic trainer and a capable fighter. The Pup was so well regarded that it was even the first aircraft to successfully land on a moving ship, paving the way for modern aircraft carriers. Then in 1916 came the icon itself, the Sopwith Camel. The Camel was the polar opposite of the gentle Pup. It was notoriously difficult to fly, with a powerful rotary engine that created a strong gyroscopic effect. This meant it could turn incredibly quickly to the right, but turning left was a slow, clumsy affair. Inexperienced pilots often crashed, and it's said the Camel killed nearly as many of its own pilots in accidents as it did enemies in combat. However, in the hands of a skilled ace, its quirky handling made it a deadly weapon. The Camel became the most successful Allied fighter of the war, credited with shooting down more enemy aircraft than any other type, a staggering 1,294 kills. It cemented Sopwith's place in aviation history. Following the Camel, the company produced the Sopwith Snipe, an improved design intended as the Camel's replacement. It was faster, more powerful, and much easier to fly. It arrived late in the war but proved to be an excellent aircraft, serving with the Royal Air Force well into the 1920s. Throughout the war, Sopwith was a manufacturing powerhouse. They produced over 16,000 aircraft, employing thousands of people in their factories in Kingston and nearby Ham. They were a cornerstone of the British war effort. So what happened to this incredible company after the war? Well, this is where the story takes a sad turn. When the war ended in 1918, the massive demand for military aircraft vanished overnight. The government cancelled all its contracts, leaving Sopwith with huge factories, a massive workforce, and no orders. The company tried to pivot to the civilian market, even producing motorcycles under the brand name ABC, but they were hit with a massive bill for something called excess wartime profits tax, facing financial ruin. The Sopwith Aviation Company was forced into voluntary liquidation in 1920. It was a tragic end for a company that had contributed so much. But the story doesn't end there. Thomas Sopwith was not a man to give up easily. Just a few months later, he, along with his test pilot Harry Hawker and a few others, formed a new company. They named it H.G. Hawker Engineering in honor of their brilliant test pilot. This new company rose from the ashes of Sopwith and went on to become another giant of British aviation. Over the years, it evolved into Hawker Aircraft, and later, Hawker Siddeley. And what did they build? Only some of the most famous aircraft in history. The Hawker Hart, the Hawker Fury, and of course the legendary Hawker Hurricane, which was the true workhorse of the Battle of Britain. Later, they would produce the Hawker Hunter and the revolutionary Hawker Siddeley Harrier, the famous jump jet. That entire lineage, that incredible legacy of engineering, can be traced directly back to that old roller skating rink in Kingston where Tommy Sopwith started his dream. While the Sopwith name disappeared, its spirit, its engineering genius, and its people lived on, shaping the future of aviation for decades to come. It's a powerful reminder that even when a company ends, its legacy can fly on forever. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from the history of flight. See you next time.